Good evening from Berlin. It's Saturday night again. Anyway, every week is Saturday night. Okay, but leave this. What I wanted to tell you, what I've noticed, and I'm sure you have noticed as well if you live here, is basically the architecture. The architecture is kind of gray. Okay, it's gray or is average. It's not too catastrophic, it's not too great as well. So why in Berlin we're not having this contrast of, let's say, perfect, pristine architecture, good environment, and all the shops, everything, and the rest, the favelas, the gutter, the whatever? Why? Well, I'm here to answer these questions for you and for myself as well, because I need as well information. I'm a person as well. Right. So yeah, as you can see, I'm here in Paul Linke Ufer, which is on the banks of a certain navigation canal. So basically, this is the backwater of Görlitzer Bahnhof and Kodusser Tor. See, and as you can see, there's a canal. It's a navigation canal, and there are buildings on the left and the right of the canal, basically. And there's an enclosed space on the banks, which is kind of like a sitting area and stuff, where people can enjoy themselves, whatever. Have everything you need. You have games, you have public toilet even, this one here. And yeah, this is an area which is like not good, not bad, basically. It's in between. Why is it just in between and not great, for example? Why? What's going on with it? That's what I'm asking you. Well, what can I say now? It's all because of the history of Berlin, yeah? Hear me out. Berlin's history is a complicated affair. This place was communist. Not this particular place of Berlin, but anyway, Berlin was part communist. Part of it was in the Soviet sector. And East Germany as a whole was a socialist country from 45 to 1990, so 45 years of this kind of stuff. And the goal of this system was to, let's say, reduce the distances between the rich and the poor until there is no distance. And this kind of these ways of doing stuff, okay, this way of thinking has propagated in time, okay, has propagated in time and has left a legacy in people's psyche, in their collective psyche. Therefore, yeah, it's not too good, not too bad. There are no extremes, so extremes cannot form because people's psyche, people's way of thinking, it's in such a way that doesn't let contrasts form between rich and poor. And it's the same in everything, generally in the ex-Warsaw Pact countries. It's kind of the same. Now, this place, Berlin, it's definitely a Western place. It's Germany. Germany is like culturally a Western country, geographically a Central European country. But anyway, but still, the imprint, the footprint of the 45 years of communism, it's still apparent. Okay, still apparent, and generally things tend towards the average. Not very rich, not very poor as well. Okay, you don't have the favelas, you don't have the fabulously wealthy billionaires that are like cut off from the rest of the city, whatever. No, you don't have this here. You have like a good average, a good batting average, like baseball fans would say. Okay, so it's generally a place that people would find very, very easy to fit into, okay? Because you are an average person. The likelihood of you being average is very high still in Europe, because there are a lot of people in the middle. I know, globally, the tendency is to go for the extremes. Cool, I get it, no problem. But here, it's a bit slower. Here is not so, let's say, cutthroat still, yeah. So this is how we explain the way of building stuff and the way of preserving what is already being built. So try to build as much as possible for as many people as possible. Report this to the cost, whatever is the way of thinking, and again, try not to create a lot of contrasts because it's the heritage of the place, and it's a good thing. It's also a sign of deeper understanding of the world. Okay, that some Germans have, most of them actually have, which is not typical. It's different from, let's say, the other parts of Europe, other parts of Western Europe, where this kind of thinking, it's let's say, not typical. People really don't care if there's a difference between the rich and the poor. That is absolutely insurmountable as long as they're rich. You see? So yeah, this is the thing with Berlin. And I'm pretty sure if I would live in Dresden or Leipzig, it would be the same thing. Yeah, but I don't, so I'm not speaking about places where I don't live. But anyway, this place is like this, what I've noticed. And it's very obvious in the architecture. You see, this is considered a good area. Yeah. It's a good area, and nothing is missing here. Like you have everything, supermarkets close by, children playground. You have almost everything you can think of, but it's not ostentatious. Yeah, it's functional mostly. There's nothing like comforts of a Maharaja, but there's also no, let's say, cardboard box cities. There's no skid rows. Still, there are some homeless, but anyway, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think this is a strong point of Berlin in general and of East Germany because there's a unique, let's say, unique mixture between former Warsaw Pact countries, which was East Germany, the DDR, and Western Europe. And now Germany is part of Western Europe, all of it, even the DDR. And and both things, both stuff, both sides have good in their let's say philosophy, modus vivendi, whatever. So the Eastern Bloc countries, the Warsaw Pact countries, had their ideas which were like valid. Let's say social justice, not so much discrepancy between rich and poor and whatever, and also the West, which has entrepreneurship, which has invention. You see. So yeah, this is how you explain, in my opinion, that Berlin doesn't have so much contrast in its architecture, let's say. So everything is a bit like an average grayish kind of structure. You see it from afar, but when you delve deep into it, it's really much more than that. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss anything of what I'm posting, and it will not, because the YouTube application will just remind you. And yeah, so far so good. So what? Bye bye.